I see you're still here. Okay. Let's run back. Okay, so what we want to get here is we want the foundations with the hole in them. Conveyor lift floor hole. How many tickets do I have? According to this, 0. Bollocks. Okay, let's see what we have in here. Do we have our tickets? Here we go, 9 tickets. First of all, let's pick up these. Actually, we'll pick up those. Let's see where we're at over here. Running short on biofuel. Okay, so we want to get a few things here. Add this guy to the cart. Add this guy to the cart, even though we may not use that. I like signs, but I need quartz crystal. Okay, let's head back. There it is. Look at it. It's beautiful. Welcome back to Games Played Technically. We're back in our Satisfactory series, and today we're going to finish building the coal generators. 100% for sure this is going to happen, and we're going to be done with the biomass burners. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we actually manage that. So I'm taking some more advice from the comments, and so what I want to do here. What I want to do here is remind you guys to like and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, hit subscribe again and hit the bell. That way you're notified whenever my new episodes drop, and they drop Mondays. Okay, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna use these floor holes right here. So let's put a floor hole here. We're gonna need pipes at some point. We'll worry about those in a second. So now let's see, how do these work? That isn't how they work. Is this how they work? Ah, I see. If I understand correctly, and I'm sure that I do. Actually, we're gonna turn this guy early right here. And so I'll let you guys know why I'm using the floor holes here in just a second. These are going the wrong way. Okay, no problem. We can fix that. No, it can be. Does have to be a Mark II reverse. There we go. And then these also have to be Mark IIs, right? Because we're gonna be moving more than 60. I think we're moving like. I forgot what our number was. I think it was 75. 75, what is that? 25, 45 is going that way. Yep, we're moving 75 right here. And that means actually this guy will also have to be, oh, it's already a Mark II. Perfect. Okay. So now that we've done that, we've got to climb down our ladder here. Not fall, hopefully, but climb down our ladder. Okay, I guess we will fall. Okay. Let's lay down some more foundation. Also, there's like a... There you are. So there's like a foundation hanging out down here. See if I can get that. Saw it in the editing. Got here a bit. So what we're gonna do then, you see, is a Mark II rather. Look at that. It's brilliant. And what is so brilliant about that is that there's no height limits when you use the floor holes. If you use a regular conveyor lift, there's a height limit of, what was it, like 50 meters? I forget the amount. But thank you to, shoot, who was it? Thank you to whoever it was. I'll show your comment on screen right now who let me know about this. That was a good idea. Some good advice, grade A advice. All right, so now that we've done that, so the plan was going to be, and here I'll show you guys a little bit more about how I was going to do this. Let's see, we will do this. Kind of do this right here. I'm actually wondering if I should do a floor hole here and then finish the run or fall into the water. Also that. I might do that. Let's do a floor hole here. And we still need a way to get up here. So for now, we'll do that right here. I think what we'll do is we'll put another floor hole right here. I just think they're neat, these floor holes. I just think they're neat. Nice, look at that. Oh, this has to be Mark II. I hope I brought enough. I did bring enough reinforced plates, maybe. We'll find out shortly. There we go. I think that'll look much nicer. It's weird how the build state for those is odd. Okay, let's climb back up here. So the idea is, right, so we have this platform here. So this would be like, what is it, like a plenum? Our pipes, right, we're gonna run down this way. That was the plan, right? The conveyor for sure will, right? Our coal will run underneath to our factories, which will be on this floor, this second floor here. The piping I was going to send underneath. However, I've been watching some videos and reading some documents on fluids in Satisfactory, right? There's flow, there's working pressure, there's head lift, there's all that stuff. And what I've learned, in particular, one thing is that if you have the pipe kind of feeding up to another floor and directly into a generator, for example, or any other building, any other structure that takes a fluid, there's as soon as it consumes that fluid, that pipe becomes empty, and so the fluid will drop back down. I don't think this is the case 100% of the time, and I haven't tested it out. However, I don't know. I don't want it to happen. So why put ourselves in a situation where that can happen? So I'm thinking I may run the pipes over. I'll essentially just move them up to the top right away and then run them across the top. And we'll see how that looks. We'll let's get some of this going first. In fact, we can put that off for a minute because we actually have a few other things to do first. Not the least of which is our kind of complicated math for getting 75 to split into 15 multiple times. So we're gonna have 5 factories going, 5 generators going, and they each need 15. So that does equal 75. However, in order to get to 75, we have to like break down to 12 and a half and then recompile. It's a little complicated. That's why we're gonna hide the conveyors down underneath, right? The pipes can be on top because honestly, I think we can just combine them into one pipe. So what do they move? 300 meters cubed? I think that's the volume. I'll have to double check them. I think what pipe will move that. So it'll just be one pipe running over top. And really that can be used for the entire setup. From what I understand, and I think I've done this before, I'll explain it later on too, but essentially like the fluid, the way the fluid works is it'll pipe in, and so it'll split similar to a conveyor, right? So if you're sending 300, it'll split into 150, 150 as you put 2 pipes, right? But backflow will happen on that first pipe. If, right, a coal generator can't use all of the 150, the 150 meters cubed amount of water, so it'll backflow into the rest of the pipe. And this takes a minute, right? It'll take a minute, it'll keep doing that. It'll keep backflowing on each generator until it hits the end, right? So I think if you just let it fill up first, then start running the generators, it should even out. I think I've done this before, never with as much care as I'm showing now. but it should work the way we want it to. And it'll look good to boot. Maybe, we'll see. Okay, so let's lay down this floor. Let's figure out where our generators are gonna be. So we need this guy here. Put you over here. Keep our eyes peeled for spiders. No spiders anymore, guys. It was just that one spider and we killed it. There's probably no spiders left in the game, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. $100% certain. Okay, let's figure this out. So the placement of this might be a little tricky, or not tricky, but I just haven't thought of it. Let's lay down a bit more floor there. I was thinking of having it run this way. I think that'll be fine. We should have enough space. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, come on, look at that. So what kind of space does it take up? It looks like it's more than one foundation, just slightly more than one foundation. So I think if I set them one apart, that'll be fine. Question is aesthetically what looks best. So let's see if I set one down here. I wish there was not a massive, huge label right there. Like if I was gonna run the pipe, well, no, either way you can't center them, which is kind of, I'm overthinking this. That's fine. Fine. It'll begin to list more and more to the right. Let's see here. How close are we to the rock? No, we're good. We're good. Now, we can't afford any more. I think I knew that was going to happen. Geez, I hope we have enough for our conveyors here. Whoa. Hitting buttons. So let's remove one just to get back our reinforced plates, but I believe they'll fit before we run into any issues here, right? 1, 2, 3. No, we won't. They won't fit. So I think what they needed to do is they need to move back just a little bit. Right, and that'll allow us to keep going in that direction, hopefully. I don't have enough to make it all fit, but I think we can do this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, this off-killed one. Now imagine this is 7. And then we'll do this, and this will be 8. We need more floor. We need more floor. So what is our spacing here? Tight, real tight. But is it enough? I think so. I mean, if we spin it the other way, we'll for sure have space. So why don't we do that? Why don't we flip these guys around? And then 5 right there. So we'll have our floor holes here. We'll have the pipes come around this way. And we could have it go just a little bit higher up. That way or I guess on the outside here, we can have the pipe run this way and just split to all of them. And that'll allow like a little space here for the floor hole to live and to provide the coal. Okay, so with that laid out, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the math. We're going to do this math here. So I did it in my head earlier and I didn't write it down. So, you know, why did I do that? Why did I do it that way? Okay, let's take a look here. We've got 75 here. We split 75 into 3, we get 25, 25, 25. We take 12 and a half, because what we want is we want 15. If we make 45, we can split that into 3 and that gives us 15. So I think that was the plan. However, 25 and 12 and a half does not get us that. It gets us 37 and a half. Not what we want. Let's take a quick pause. I'm gonna draw this out. Okay, so I think this works. I think this works. Let's see. Okay, so I think what I have to do, let's see here. I think I have to split and then backtrack, sort of. Oh, let me see. I have this written down. Let me see if it makes sense here. Let's add another floor here. We're gonna need some space. We're gonna need some space. I didn't think this was gonna be so complicated. So this is a merger rather. We need a merger here. So this will send 75 through, right? So you're probably asking why do that? And that's a good question. Give me a minute. And then we're going to, what are we gonna do here? We're gonna split. This is gonna be a splitter. We're actually going to have to get the cold going just to... Does this work? Okay, so let's focus. Let's focus. So this will split into 45 and 45. Rather, it's splitting 75 into 2, which doesn't make sense. How do we get 45? And I think we get 45 by doing another merger. No, by doing another. We need 2 more splitters. We need a splitter here. Okay, and a splitter here. This will split into 3. So will this one. So let's see. Let's get some of these conveyors laid out here. Now this does have to be Mark II, and so does this. Now, this guy. Okay. So then these are both splitting into 3. And that is because we're sending 15 back up. Here. I think if you give it time to run, it will like if you let it run so that it fills up rather than sending anywhere, there will always be 15 running back this way, making 75, or rather making 90 here, that can then split into 45. And then if we get 45 here and here, that gives us exactly 5 belts of 15 to use to send upward. So I'll show you here. What we'll do is so this 15 is heading back to make 90 over here. And then these 15, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 belts sending 15. And these we just have to figure out how to get directly, oh no, directly under, well, we can do floor holes. However, I think I might be blocking some of that access. Let's put the floor holes down and see where they would go. I think we can move this if we need to. Let's see what this looks like. So let's put some floor holes down. Floor hole. Flipping may occur. Well, To live is to clip. IMO. To live is to clip. Okay, then this guy here. And then this guy here. So let's see what that looks like underneath. Okay, so we do appear to have a slight problem here. But that's okay. So what we'll do is we'll just move it further this way. Because we do have to account that we will have 3 more conveyor holes, won't we? We will just leave enough space. I will figure that we'll probably need 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll just assume these 4 are being used. So what we'll do is we'll run, we might flip this sideways, run this all the way out here, this way, and then do our split. You too. Okay. So we'll do this and reverse. Right here. We'll send a Mark 2 all the way around this way, right? We're leaving 4. Do 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we go all the way over here, I think we should be fine. And if we're not, we only have to move 1 belt. So don't even trip. Although we are, in fact, using a great deal of reinforced iron plate. Excuse me one moment. More iron plate than we anticipated. Do we have more factories than we need? No, we have the exact number of factories. Okay. Quick run back to base. Not just back to base, but literally to the top of our factory. Well, I think that calls for a sip of beer. I guess Biffa would have a sip of coffee. Or no, he's British, excuse me. Biffa would have a sip of tea. I do the thing wrong, so I have a sip of beer. Its belts are stopped again. Someday this operation will run so smoothly that the belts will never stop. The ore will always flow. The ingots will be smelted. The materials will be constructed. And the tier 2 materials will be assembled. Yes. A screenshot, perhaps? Let's focus. Uh-oh. These are the wrong way around, aren't they? There we go. And that would be how we do it. Okay. Let's get this finished down here. All the way around this way. Should work, because all that matters is that there's 75 units of coal in the system. I say with like, I don't know, 90%, 80% certainty. All right, look at that. And now I think these will always default to send out rather than rather as outputs rather than inputs, because the other side is already determined as an input, so this can only be an output. I forgot to do one here. That's okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, and I think what we're gonna do is, because then we have to build the pipes, and like I said, I think we may just run the pipe this way over top and just send it in. Just feed it in. We could probably even do, like, if we get some of that grading from the awesome shop, we could run that over the pipes. I think that'd look pretty cool. But before we do that, we're gonna start the miner for the coal. That way it starts to fill that up, and we'll make sure all of the connections work ahead of time with our janky power line over here, which I suppose I might as well run down here because we'll have to do that anyway. Let's see, we'll put you here. Then we can put one over here. Put one over here. I know we got those wall outlets, but I don't know how to use them exactly. However, I do know we'll need power here. And let's see the coal flow. So this guy isn't going anywhere, so we're gonna have too much coal coming this way because this will fill up. I guess if we put a container there, that's too much. That's a bit much. We don't need all that. It shouldn't. So the idea is once we start pulling our 45 from there, we're not gonna run out of coal on this side. Let's watch that coal come down over here. Go down here. Don't fall off this time. And there it goes. Let's go downstairs. Let's see what it does. Mark II. So this should be receiving 75. It'll start to catch up. There it goes. Kind of sputters up a bit as it figures itself out. And actually, this is like 120. I'm sure because at this point the other conveyor is already blocked up. But the end result is this will be sending 75. So it will split, or rather, it will send directly over here. This will split into two. Is that correct? Oh, yes. That'll split into two, which is a bad number right now. It's like 30, what is it? 37.5, which is no good. Bad number. However, it'll begin to split over here. That was weird. It'll begin to split over here. And what it's sending back in this direction will eventually be 15, I suppose. And so this will be 90. Right, because this is this has to be a Mark II. Excuse me. There we go, that's part of the problem there. I guess the only way to test this eventually is we'll put that container up over there as like a final test. So we'll put a container on our 45 coal that's supposed to head back to the factory. That'll be our test. That'll tell us whether this is working. If the generators turn off, then we know it's not working. Alright, so then these little lumps of coal head back up to the generators. Let's do our piping here real quick. And the piping, good news, the piping is simple. We should have enough head lift here to lift it all up, all the way up. Won't have to do any extra work. Don't have any pipes here. We'll put this guy here, but we shouldn't need it. Pipeline support. Don't think we need to put these down separately. A wall support would be unnecessary. We can do the fancy stuff later. I think we can actually just do this, right? 1, 2. So this should act exactly the same to a conveyor. Now we're actually we're gonna need some more stuff here, because I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run it along this seam right here. And actually it looks like it's not long enough either way. Where did we run out? Yeah, right about here. So let's just put this here. And then here. I'm wondering if we can do this. How does that look? Maybe? Maybe? Okay, don't like that I can't stand on top of these guys. So this will line up there. This will line up there. That's all we need. Ah, I can't get under these. Can I slide? Oh yeah, I can. Oh, sort of. Okay. And so, I mean, we could also downclock these. We might want to, because it's really the end point we want for our power is for it to just be steady, right? That is the ideal. How does that look? I think that should be good right there. And so then we can just run this all the way across, splitting it as necessary. We can do here. Straight into that guy. There's no way this won't work. A completely untested, sort of complicated, it's not very complicated. I think this will work. There are much more complicated systems in this game. We've barely touched on them. Okay, let's get power hooked up. So we won't hook up the generators just yet. I think we'll do it every other. Just because. We have to have a system, we don't want to think about it too much, so we'll make one up. Well, that didn't really line up. Oh, you know what I can do? I can do another floor right here. But not in such a way that it clips. And this guy here. And I don't want to run out of room on these lines, so we'll do this. There they go. So we don't have enough power to do this actually. As you can see, our consumption is far too high, but we have a lot of machines stopped, so that'll be, as inefficient as that is, that'll be a boon to us right now, so that this water can flow. So it looks like it's moving just fine here. So you'll see, for those of you who know that this will fill up. It's got a backflow to finally kind of get everything filled up, because it'll split. Let's see what the amount is. So it is 300 meters cubed per minute is the maximum flow rate, right? And we should hit that max. And so what it'll do is it'll split 150 and 150 here, right? But then this will backflow because this guy only drinks up 50. So it'll send 100 back. So this will be back to 250. It'll send 125 over, and so on, right? It'll kind of keep doing that, and these will little by little fill up. So we'll let that go so that these fill up first. As you can see, this last one will take a minute, but once it's filled up, there should be, I think it's working pressure is what'll make sure everything stays full up. I think I might be using those terms wrong. I gotta keep doing some reading. I've only done really basic stuff with fluids, so it's a little complicated, right? It's not a perfect simulation, but it is a complex representation. And definitely not entirely spelled out for you. You have to figure it out a bit. And actually, while that fills up, I can go ahead and build that container. So what that container will do, it'll essentially act as if that's being sent back to the factory, right? We want that just for the testing of it. Let's see, what kind of containers do I have? Did I unlock that other one? If I did, I don't think I have the... No, I didn't. Okay, well. Will it fit there? Yeah, not well, but don't need it to fit well. We just need it to fit. Those guys will fill up probably pretty quick. But we'll have a short period of time to test this. And those pipes are starting to look pretty full. There's no indicator on that guy, but there is one there. Let's hop down here. By hop, I mean climb this ladder very carefully. And then jump. Let's see. So these guys should be full up by now. Oh, yeah. Let's see. So this is telling me current amount in pipe is 8.7. That 8.7. I need to figure out what exactly this number means. This is telling us something too. Flow rate. Our flow rate, it's still bobbing up and down. I think it's because it's sloshing back and forth. If you get closer up here, I imagine there's less sloshing in this one. Nope, appears to still be. Oh, but there's not going to be any flow rate because this isn't moving. We have to plug these in to get water flowing into the generator. So let's do that. Let's have you do that guy, have you do that guy. Go here. You go here. I'll have you also do this guy. And let's see, what are you gonna do? We are burning coal, guys. We are burning coal. Those smokestacks are about to smoke up. Don't light up. Anytime now. And you see these guys are beginning to have some trouble because they're pushing too much water. We'll have to adjust that because what is 5 divided by 8? 0.625. So that is the percentage that we're using. No smoke yet. Let me see. What color are their indicators? They're green. Am I just too far away to see the smoke? Are the smoke particle effects not rendering? I think that's what it is. That's kind of a bummer, guys. We don't have any smoke on our factories. I don't know. It could be a restart. We'll do it. We'll have to figure that out. I might look it up in a minute. Okay, so that's filling up 45 per minute. These guys do appear to be working. We can just big jump. They're generating power. Let's take a look downstairs. That is too bad. That is unfortunate. Because what I could do is if I'm not recording, I could move it back and forth between my local machine and the server. Because there are some quirks, there's some weirdness with running it on the server. Let's see. So this guy then needs to be enter. Oh, here we go. 62.5. Okay. 62.5. And 62.5. Okay. That's good. That should be, so this should result in these guys never having to turn off. And that's what we want. We don't want spikes in power. We want the power to be steady. A steady line. Okay. Oh, and let's check down here. These guys are full up, moving along, doing their thing. However, yeah, this guy, so there should be a lot of movement back here. In fact, I imagine it'll eventually just flow smoothly. Not sure about that. But it'll just keep moving without an issue. But you can see here already on these two there is something of a gap. It might just be the length. I guess this will eventually back up. But I think it's working, guys. Yeah, you see, I don't know if that, like, the weird ore glitching, does that have to do with me running it on the server? I'm gonna look that up real quick. Okay, well, this is gonna require me looking a little bit deeper. Let's see, how are we looking? I don't want to let this run for a little while, just to make sure we're good, but I'm not gonna make you guys watch all of it. I mean, we won't know, or we could just, you know, leave it, and... Hey, see, that's weird, the way they kind of do that. I don't know if my base game was doing that. I hadn't played it in a while, I've just been playing on server right now. I'll have to look into it a bit. I think I heard one of the water extractors shut down, though. Let's watch those for a minute. Yeah, some of these guys are still turning off. I don't know if that eventually settles down. Yeah, look at that. We are making... Our capacity has gone to... Oh, that's right, because we still have the biomass generators going. I'm wondering if the issue is where this guy is piping in. Would it work better if I piped in closer to the center, or like the middle one? If I had this pipe here and then piped in right here in this guy. See, so they haven't turned off in a minute. Oh no, that one is off. There's a yellow bar. There's a yellow bar. I don't like that. Let's try that real quick. We're running a little over time now. Run this guy all the way here. Factories will not like this, rather the generators will not like this. Won't like this one bit. And then just delete this one here. They might turn off in the time that it takes for these to fill up. Or maybe not. Like we're moving along here. Yeah, because I was wondering if maybe the backflow here was causing this to back up, since it couldn't move down here fast enough, but it should. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'll do a little more research. Let's see if these guys turn off. I'm going on hunch rather than any facts or data, and we all know how that works out. Fine, just fine, all the time, every single time. Nope, there we go. That one turned off. Very briefly. Let's give it a little more time to settle. Drink some more of my beer. Guys, there's no smoke because we're burning clean coal, you know. That totally, entirely real thing that's not entirely fictional. Oh, man. Turn off briefly. I mean, it could also be the percentage isn't very exact. It might also have to do with how they're piped down here. Many things. It could be many things. Let's let it go for a little while longer. See if we get yellow again. I'll give it until I finish my beer. My beer is finished. Thank you, Stone IPA. and we didn't get any more yellows. So even if even if there's still a slight amount of inefficiency in it, I think it's minute enough for now that it's fine. Get a lot of those inefficiencies, it begins to pile up. So you want that straight line, right, on production. And here, right, we obviously haven't optimized. There's a lot of stuff that's being unused. So that's fine. That kind of makes sense. Let's check downstairs one more time to see how our coal is looking. Yep. Oh yeah, it's backing up little by little bit more, or no, staying just about the same. Looks like it's level. At least just eyeballing it, that all of this appears to be in the same spot. And it's been maybe like 10 minutes. I think we can call this a success. We'll find out more later, right? Obviously, if suddenly we lose power, best way to find out is through catastrophic failure. But I'm happy with this. I'm very pleased with this. Took a bit of thinking. Sometimes that thinking gets us in trouble, but this time it helped us solve a problem. So I think we're on our way here, guys. Things are looking good. Things are looking pleasant here in our factory town. So what I'm thinking for next time is we can get steel going. Look at these. Clean burning propane. Next episode, what we're gonna look at is steel. So we do need to get concrete finally sorted out for that. We can do that. We've got our coal that we're gonna be sending back up that way. And we'll get that figured out. We'll see kind of what our layout is gonna be, because we are running a little tight on space. You know, I'm thinking about having steel be it could be, so we currently have two sides to our structure, right? They are south and north. So those are the two sides, right? With east being the front of our factory, right? So I think maybe what we can do is we can do the west side. The west side can be steel and concrete. So looking at it from here, it'll be the, so that's a little hard to tell. So see how we have conveyors on this side? So it'll actually be around the corner. It'll be on that back side that's facing like off that steep cliff. And that'll be where we'll put our concrete and our steel, and it'll look great. We'll make steel ingots and produce steel plates and all that stuff that we need, and we'll keep progressing. Making progress. So guys, if you liked my episode, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.